Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 310. Today is Sunday, March 29th, 2020, and I'm glad you could join me today. So, it's probably a little bit too late for coffee, but it was like a late start today. And then I have a little bit of a hot mess because I ended up pulling part of my project off the needles, and I was trying to get back on, and I was like, oh my gosh. But here now, should be okay. Unfortunately, the room setup isn't where I would like it right now. But got stymied by a lack of one piece of metal on the IKEA stuff, so it's like annoying. So as a result, would it be somewhere the piece we need in order to finish installing the bed? Thought to have been seen on the truck, who knows? But in the meantime, whatever. We'll just deal with this for now and call it good. Let's see. What do we want to cover first? We'll cover the thing that is slightly less broken at the moment. So, in exciting news, I am nearly done with this first mitt. So did some measurements sometime this weekend, I don't know. And I am at the point where I need to add fingers. So I think I'm gonna have to find, I don't know whether or not I have a set of 00 double points, but we'll figure something out. But it appears that I am now done with the black. I'm going to put some fingers on. I need to make some choices with respect to that as well. So one of those choices is how I want to do the fingers exactly. So whether or not I want to have like stockinette with some ribbing, or figuring out a way to apparently reduce the bulk somehow. I don't know. But so far so good. So will they effectively be able to be worn either way? I just did like a straight up thing there, so probably. So looking pretty good. Definitely a little bit too big in the thumb and a little bit too long in the what would it be? A little bit too long in the hand for me, but works for the Dursley Local one. So yeah. So this project went faster than I was expecting it to. Like, I'm not there yet, but it seemed to go faster than I expected. The other thing that I'm working on was actually a cast on this week. So let's see if I and of course it ended up turning into a little bit of a mess. At the moment, I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do about that, because that got, I think, yeah, this is like the first row where I'm actually doing stuff, so it's possible that I should be able to get it back on, but this side ended up pulling out, which was a little bit crazy making. And so now I was, ooh, yeah, ooh. I don't know why I have both of these yarns here. unless one of these just got mixed up and is supposed to be on the other end, or it was working back. It looks like things are pretty screwed up. So, so this is one of the yarns that I regretted packing. So this is Smutzarella, excellent lace, in the Never Enough Socks, and let's see, do I even have tags? No, of course. Never Enough Socks, and Can't Keep Me Down, I believe. So these are like 930 yard lace weight skeins, 100 grams, so fairly fine. Like definitely like a loosely plied lace for sure. So we have sort of this grapey purple color, and then this guy here, which is sort of teals and blues and purples and greens with like little bright pops of like hot pink, which are very happy. Excuse me. But it looks like I'm going to have to do a decent amount of work to get this nice again. Basically, I did not leave it in a safe place, and now it is filled with awkwardness. So I think I managed to capture all of the stitches, so that's good. But I'm gonna have to do a little bit of surgery on this because I'm gonna have to reknit one of the rows, it appears, because it pulled out to the needle here, and then continue on with the color, it appears. And whatever else went strange on this, I don't know. Who knows? It's a little bit of a mess right now. And then mounting the stitches right, looking at this. So, this is the wrong side fabric. It's a little bit harder to see the pattern on this. For some reason, having the variegated background really just loses it. And this is the right side pattern, and you can really clearly see what's going on this side, which I think is really cool. So, this is the Sizzle Pop pattern. It is a Leslie Ann Robinson pattern. And I concluded that it was time to make my own. And honestly, I feel like I've made quite a bit of progress on this just because it's been sort of that right compromise between like soothing and every so often needing to pay attention. It's the nice thing about a brioche project like this is that I have one row which has a lot of action in it, and then I have 3 rows which don't. So, not too crazy. And basically you end up knitting like half the stitches per row. So there's a certain pattern. It's sort of like you're working ribbing, basically. I ended up going with for 3mm needles for this project. I just keep gravitating to that pair for some crazy reason. They're a little bit beat up at this point. So they don't work as smooth as they used to, but it hasn't gone to a crisis point. So when they do properly break, then I will probably write Shagoo and they'll send a new set of tips. Who knows? They've been, or their customer service has always been awesome. So even when things have gone weird, make it right. On the spinning front, and that's our would be. That's all the knitting. So both of the projects are at a spot where I will need to think a decent amount. So, oh well. On the spinning front, alright, that fell onto the ground. So I finished a bobbin of the purple. So right now I'm working on the purple, purple, purple skein. And I have started on my second bag for the purple, purple, purple. So I ended up finishing this, I think, Friday night, and then got a start on this. So I still have most of that to go. Would it be? I think it's about 30 grams per bag. I have been spending it pretty fine, and then I do have, not with me, lots of leftovers from all of the other skeins. For some reason, it just seemed like there was just a lot of purple. Oh well, I guess I'm spinning it thin for some reason. So I haven't worked on my spindle project any this week. As you do. What would it be? So it would be nice to be done. I would like to have that be my next cast on, as you do. So we'll see how things come together. What would it be? It's just been, this project has taken so long. Much longer than I was planning on, so oh well. I ended up getting a exciting thing in the mail this week. So I had been intending to get a Plymouth & Clements Elite Crankless Arab Garter. Failed at getting it at Stitches West this year. And then I ended up seeing on Instagram that they ended up having a promotion where they were doing free shipping, so I decided to take advantage of that. I wanted to go just pick it up in person in their studio, but with the whole shelter-in-place thing, whatever. So it is on the ground here. Oh, I can't even show you guys. It's a 42-pound box. Which is probably why I'm a little irritated that this room isn't coming together very quickly, or that there have been roadblocks in getting this room to come together, because I would very much so like to set it up and play. But there may not be time for a while before I actually can play, sadly. But I have a whole fleece that I want to process with it. And I concluded that, what would it be? I should just get it and call it good, because I've been waiting since October 2018 to do this, so. Finally did it. Would it be? And it'd be the case where I really did want to support them, because I really do like what they do. With respect to the machines they build, the classes they teach, and they are definitely on the list of people that I want to see on the other side. So I decided it was time to just do it. So, fun drum carding adventures in the future. As soon as I figure out how in the world I am configuring this silly room. So, I know there's definitely like a lot of chaos around me. Some of this I probably could pack into the box and stick in the closet over there, but oh well. We'll figure it out eventually. Let's see. The other thing I ended up bringing with me was I did find my sweaters and unpack them, so right now I'm wearing my beatnik, which is cablelicious. I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to end up needing to wait outside to get them to the grocery store, so I'm like, I should probably just throw in a sweater because it was sort of rainy and gross. But I believe that I'm going to actually repurpose the yarn from the sweater. So this is one that I knit fairly early on in my knitting career, and I just don't like how it ended up looking on me. So the pattern is Wicked. It isn't even available anymore, but it had this kangaroo pocket and then this cable-y ribbing stuff, and the yarn is too gorgeous for it to be this sort of casual sweater. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's too casual for me to regularly wear. So I'm thinking about knitting or ripping this bad boy out, knitting something different. And I had like a couple of patterns I think in my queue right now that I was thinking of. So that's sort of where I'm leaning to at the moment. And maybe there are other ones that would make sense as well, who knows. But this was actually Neighborhood Fiber Company yarn that I ended up getting probably 2010 or 2011. Somewhere in there. It was the case where Karita was actually moving from Columbus back to DC, and she just needed to die down her stock. So I sent her a picture of one of my fractals, and this was the colorway that she came up with, which is so gorgeous. So, what would it be? Like, this yarn is too pretty for it to be in a sweater I'm not going to wear. And this is it's worsted weight yarn, nice smooth base. Everything looks really good, so it's mostly just a matter. I want this to be something that I wear. And this beatnik actually was originally a different sweater. What I ended up doing was I'd realized that I just wasn't washing it, which perhaps wasn't a really good criteria because how much I procrastinate with washing of sweaters anyways. But I was like, you know what, I'm not wearing this. The sweater I knit with it was the wrong size. This one is, what would it be? I don't know what happened, but it was the case where I went from having like a too big sweater to like a negative E sweater. Whatever. But I ended up dyeing the yarn a little bit more blue. But this one is made out of pretty cheap yarn. The Dear Sweet Lovable one was commenting on its scratchiness, but oh well, such is life. I'm wearing a black t-shirt underneath. It's fine. Maybe my elbows are a little scratchy, but that's not the end of the world. But I do really like this one. So it'd be the case where I'll just need to figure out, or would it be? It'd be the case where like, it's not working for you. Like, there are other options, so. But that's sort of where my head was, basically, was like, okay, what can I do with this that would make it more useful, and go from there. As you do. On the house front, still unpacking. Looks like it will be an eternity of unpacking. The giant pile of boxes that was in the way of my commute between the couch and the dining room table have been moved, which is super happy. But we still are trying to get furniture in the right place and empty boxes that make sense, and trying to figure out where to put things, because what would it be? Going from like a 5-bedroom house to a 3-bedroom house ends up resulting in a decent amount of compromise. So, hence the IKEA bed is in the knitting room, whereas before it got to be in its own room with its own furniture, and now it's just like, because it would be the case where I would like to get my chair back in the knitting room. I would like to have my yarn shelf back in the knitting room, which is going to be pain to get in because that sucker is heavy. And it's currently like in the little downstairs area, which for now shall be the man cave. As you do. So, what would it be? It's looking like there's some hope for getting everything in the kitchen. That's definitely the case where I've been looking carefully through my stuff. Like, I thought I carefully went through my stuff before everything got packed up, but it's just brought into focus. It was like, oh dear, like, can't have this much stuff. Don't know how we ever got this much stuff. What is going on? So, in that regard, it's probably good that we're in social distancing land, and I have to deal with the consequences of all of this. So, but that's sort of, or would it be, like, I don't know if it's something where it was, preventing me from crafting, because, more just the thing where all of the clutter and craziness is driving me a little up the wall, because it'd be the case where my crazy is clutter and the juice removal is crazy is dirt. So with our powers combined, we can keep a clean house, but what would it be? I'm definitely anticipating compromise in the future, for sure. So, but I don't know. What was it? I was also excited because I was sad because I ended up missing the Berkeley Thursday night Discord knitting group, but I did get to catch up with my friend Sarah, which was lovely. Hey, Sarah. So that was good. And what would it be? Though I suppose it is maybe, or what would it be? It ends up bringing into focus when you're talking with people and be like, ooh, I have not thought about interesting things recently. So, what would it be? We ended up filling out our senses. As you do. So, but I don't know. That's sort of where I am right now. Is what would it be? I've been watching the social distancing videos that Amy Ostrander has been putting up, which has been nice. What would it be? I suppose because last night or yesterday I didn't end up watching any podcasts, but what would it be? It'd be the case where I'm definitely in the situation where I can like run through all of the podcasts that I normally watch, and I've actually been rewatching Amy Beth of the Fat Squirrel because that is definitely a podcast where it is super, or would it be? I just find that to be one that's super enjoyable and easy to rewatch in the whole thing. And I think part of it's just sort of her early podcasts have this like super zany energy to them, and it is exactly what I need right now. Would it be just with like figuring out how to work with a new team remotely, figuring out like tomorrow's my birthday, and then it was like, but it was like, how are we gonna celebrate my birthday when it's just like, okay, slightly lame here, whatever. To be fair, we were moving on the Jersey local one's birthday, so whatever. So we'll figure something out. What would it be? It makes it hard to employ the dictate where it's like there are only a few days of the year where I must be taken out to dinner, and well, we can't go out to dinner on my birthday this year, so oh well. Let's see. Any other things? I don't know. Should be good for recording next week. Would it be? Well, we'll see where I get. Would it be? Maybe the case where I decide to get a good burn on spinning tonight just because I want to be done. and figure out the appropriate way to morally support the things that your sweet little boy needs to do. So, oh well, such is life. What would it be? Or it's just his crap outnumbers my crap by lots, so. And what would it be? Feel free to ping me on social media or YouTube comments or Ravelry group, however you guys want to do. Like, it seems like I've been keeping a little bit better on top of the Ravelry boards more recently, because it's, for the most part, entertaining diversion. So, what would it be if there's anything you guys are interested in? I'm happy to humor, because otherwise it might be a little light on content for the foreseeable future. So, with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.